Pick a card. Why is your hater your number one fan? Everything is different in this reading. Pick your pile and I'll see you at your reading. Hi friends, my name is Griselle with Toughdolltarot and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number one, you chose this lovely image on the right hand side of the screen and your downloads go as follows. Why is your hater your number one fan? So we're about to get it. We're about to get it. If this isn't your cup of tea, then please don't watch. I totally get that. We are seeking the crystal of truth and cocoa hair. So first of all, I definitely feel like you surprise people. Mouth open in surprise and shock. You have a lot of shock value. I think that you have a lot of audacity is what I'm hearing. Also, I'm seeing a bird with a big old claw, actually looking like the claws that I have right now. So you have this ability, like you have a bird's eye view. I feel like you are the truth, the oracle, and you speak the truth. And people, this hater does not like that. I will say that. But they're a big fan of yours because I feel like they want to steal your thunder as well. Now, I'm seeing a little bit of a mosquito with a little needle nose, eyeball, needle nose, kind of like a mosquito stops and wants to suck the life out of you. And I think that this person could be somebody who is bothersome, but not really worth a lot of your time, energy, and effort to look into. In other words, like you might know of them. My hands are dirty. But they might want to... Yeah, you might like want to swat them away like a mosquito, or they might want to bother you. Or mosquitoes, I think, put something over your skin so that you don't really feel them. At least that's the last time I checked into that, but it was a long time ago. So I feel like they could just try to numb you out a little bit, like maybe giving you compliments or trying to stroke your ego a little bit, and then they want to go in for the stink. They want to like siphon your blood, in other words. And what I mean by that is they want to steal your energy. So these could be little miniature vampires that become your number one fans. Okay, now I'm seeing actually a corpse with a mouth open. I know this is kind of morbid, but I say it the way I sees it, okay? So, who is your hater and why are they a fan? Why is your hater your number one fan? I feel like because you are very protected, this all of a sudden became almost like a world where it's very protective. And I feel like even though they loom over you, so this could be somebody who really feels like they have authority over you, whether they are, I'm going to say like a family member, a boss, or a spouse, somebody who feels like they can loom over you. They could be taller than you perhaps, or I'm seeing like in a work area, almost like a factory where everything is like, I don't want to say lower level, but let's say you're working like a factory line or working with microchips. I don't know about that life. Forgive for just a moment. And then you have like another level, like a walkway where people are walking through and they can see from above a different level. And they're like, oh, this is, you know, they do a different kind of a job related to your job. So maybe perhaps this isn't somebody who thinks like they're not technically above you, but that they can feel above you some way, somehow, because they're walking, I don't know, on a platform that's 3 feet risen, you know, higher than normal, if that makes sense. So something about stature of life. I think that you could be very private. I feel like you don't even concern yourself with that. But they're really concerned. This person, these people are really concerned with the stature of life. Yeah, this person can wear a bun, but this person definitely hides the fact that they're always looking at you. Okay, here's a nose, here's a mouth profile looking that way, but the eyes are shielded somehow. So maybe they wear goggles, they wear glasses, they wear a face mask or shield, depending on what kind of profession. I feel like it's work related. Okay. Now, I'm being shown right here like this person is almost like you would see each other as an alien. You're like, you're freaking weird. Like, why are you even bothering with me? And they're trying to study in the depth. But if you notice my shirt, which I should have thrown out, but I haven't, it says nope. Well, you can't really tell, but my shirt says nope. So they don't have access to you. They don't have access to like your inner workings, your mind. They can't really siphon your energy. I feel like a lot of it is superficial, what they can do, but they've turned into this massive fan because you're definitely, I feel like, elevated because you're not concerned with the latest and greatest. I feel like a solitary figure here sitting there, and it makes me look at almost like a bench looking out, and all of a sudden this figure is facing me, and it's got some like barbells. It's not barbells, but weights, like maybe you're into weightlifting and things like that. And this person might like your body shape, or they might want to know like what you work out and what you do so that they can imitate it. Okay. So I would say not a big deal. You're divinely protected. I heard the word shaman in my mind, and then I'm seeing a face, and then I'm all breastises. I can't see that on YouTube, the great YouTube right here. But you could be like a parent, or a great parent, or very much somebody who is a caretaker, and they want to like loom behind you and look and see. It's like they don't want to be spotted. They don't want to be spotted as being an admirer, because in the end, that's what they are. And look at how different this part is as opposed to anything else, right? And this crystal, oh, this is a lodolite, so it's a shaman stone, actually. Maybe you guys are a shaman and you have this ability to go into the different realms and pull out a lot of information. Yeah, and I feel like you could be connected to spirit animals. And then I see like this also right here, a bear. So something about connection to the bear, maybe Native America kid, maybe they're Native American, maybe you are. But this hater is definitely riveted. And I feel like you know, they're not going to be like flat out staring at you, but you can feel their energy, and they want to kind of siphon that energy for themselves because they really have nothing going on. And I get someone who's really almost like a slender figure, or somebody that's not super attractive. I'm just going to say it like that. And so they lack that confidence, right? And you could be, the thing is, if you're confident, you're going to be attractive no matter what you look like, because that comes within. It's a light from within. And I feel like you have a light from within, regardless of what you look like. That's why when we have actors, you know, that are, I would consider not super attractive, but they have like this magnetism. It's simply because they have this confidence, and they embody their full persona, their full confidence, their full whatever it is that they are. And that's why we can't take our eyes off of them. So I feel very much it is like that. So maybe you have a lot of confidence, and you simply magnetize people in that way. So let's get a little bit more information. If this sounds like you, if this is you, then go ahead and join me for the shuffle and your subsequent reading in 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Welcome, welcome. I am so grateful to have you here. If you are new, then I hope that you find something that is helpful or encouraging. And for those of you guys that are indeed my repeat offenders, I am so grateful to have you here. Thank you all so very much. Pile number 1. Why is your hater your number 1 fan? You have emotional withdrawal. It's a handprint right here. Interesting. And you have what? Nails that don't function. Okay, the base chakra. So the root chakra right here. I'm definitely going to say that, look at how well these colors go together, by the way. So emotional withdrawal, I feel like you could have pulled away from someone, or maybe perhaps you're somebody who is emotionally by nature withdrawn, and the base chakra is reversed. So I definitely feel like this person can struggle with maybe security issues at the fact that when you withdraw, maybe it makes them feel insecure. When you are kind of fully engage with them. It's almost like they feel like everybody has to be fully engaged with them. Otherwise, they're going to feel insecure. And I'm going to say, first of all, that these emotions kind of are like really unrealistic, I think. If you are working with somebody, there's no, you know, first of all, no one has a right to be like, oh, everybody owes me their emotions. But I feel like this person could be very spoiled, very like given to you. I'm hearing the word petulance. So they could be a little bit childlike in the fact that maybe they were spoiled, maybe they're spoiled as a child, and they have this expectancy that I'm hearing currency. The currency around them is that they get all this attention, and it's a lot of it is unwarranted. It's a little bit like indulging a child. And so I feel like if people don't adhere to that, they feel a certain kind of a way. They feel unsettled, disrupted, they feel unrooted. It's almost like they get their baseline from other people, their self-esteem from other people. And I think that you don't play into that narrative, that while you may give them, you know, polite attention or attention that is warranted, however it is that you're feeling, if you feel an emotional withdrawal, or if you feel like, you know, you want to spend your own time by yourself, I don't feel like you're going to overgive. And this person's definitely feeling like you should overgive to them because that's what makes them feel secure. That's just kind of weird. That's the first thing that I'm getting. Okay. There is definitely a line of demarcation right here. Yeah, there's a line in the sand, maybe that you have drawn, right? That you're like, okay, this isn't going to cross this line because we have a barrier between the sand and the ocean, and we need to figure out like what separates. But this person wants to constantly blend in. They want to blend that sand and that ocean together so that it's really nebulous. I don't like it. Anyways, keeping it pushing here. Why is your hater your number one fan? So the Knight of Coins. Yeah, you have this ability. It's almost like very mysterious, smoky. I'm getting a lot of smoke. This person could smoke. You could smoke. But you have this ability to focus on what is ahead always. And I feel like what is ahead for you, it seems to me like even they're facing the future, but it can seem a little bit dark and ominous, and it's a little bit lighter behind them. So I think that even though when things get difficult, when things get challenging, when a storm is brewing, right? It could be a tsunami, a tidal wave. It could be, you know, things are not going to go well for you. But this is where you need to head in order to create an overall health improvement, self-improvement, or you just need a journey towards something, and you know it's going to be difficult and challenging and it's going to take time. You're not afraid to do that. You're going to confront it. You're going to face it. And I feel like this person's emotions are solely based on superficial and placating. So I feel like really pedestal you. They admire you because they're not of the cloth that they see something difficult, they're going to run. They see something difficult, they're going to put other people into it. They're going to be like, oh, hey, can you help me? Or is there a way I can avoid this? Or can I just not do that? You know, I feel like getting a little like pretty privilege or coyness or like a lot of manipulation. You know, is there a way that you can do this with me? They're not going to want to do the hard work. And they're going to do whatever it takes in order to dance around the issue in order to avoid it. And I feel like they're your number one fan simply because you're not one of those. You're going to go at it alone. You might even have just one wing here, or you might wing it. You know, I'm known for winging it, by the way. You might just be like, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to fly or die. Let's see what happens, you know, but I'm going to do it. And I feel like this is something that is incredibly admirable in their eyes. I feel like they get intimidated by you, but they have this like admiration as well. And I kind of see like a glimmer. I feel like just little girl quality, little boy quality. Yeah, this charm that they utilize to mask and manipulate could be around you. So let's see what else is going on here. I know this was a little bit of a chaotic reading because all of a sudden I had a ton of cards, if you watch a shuffle, drop to my left-hand side. And I definitely feel like you just have a lot of qualities, like your intuitive qualities, because my left is like my divine feminine, receptivity, and subconscious and things like that. And I feel like this person has a lot that they really admire, and there are a lot of reasons why they're your number one fan, but they're not going to say it, right? And they want to like blah, say it all at once, say things all at once, or they want to say nothing. So this person can talk about a lot of things that like don't matter, or this person can really feel a certain way, but then mask with just like pretending not to pay attention, or pretending to, it's a lot of pretending going on here. I don't like it. So why is your hater your number one fan? I feel like because you lack pretense, by the way. Okay, so if you're liking this kind of reading, if you're liking these kind of nails, check this out. I know I have to show them off though, they're funny. Glitter. Then please do me a favor and like, share, comment, subscribe. That way you get notified where I brought further readings. And yeah, these are pop-offs because there ain't no way. These are so sharp that, I mean, that kind of hurts. You can literally stab people with that. Okay, the star. So I feel like why is your hater your number one fan is because you are simply focused on your true north, the star. I feel like you could have a lot of energy emanating from your crown chakra. You could be getting downloads, and I feel like what you think about just really everything is very high vibration with you. Not that, you know, we can't get pulled down to 3D and have to think about what is in front of us. You're not walking on air and things like that. But with the star, this is like you shine in a world that is full of darkness. You stand out in a world where people want to get along to get along. That's not even a thing. But in a world where they just want to be like everybody else, I feel like you're not that person. I feel like you can close your eyes to that. You could be very clairaudient. You could be very perceptive. You could also be a healer with a star. I feel like you could also have a lot of public recognition. So perhaps this person or these people are, I feel like you draw a demographic for sure. But this person, this hater, is your number one fan because people see you for the star that you are. And keep in mind, it's like when everything is dark, right? When everything is dark, you shine. And it's not like you haven't had troubles. This person, these people know that you've had trouble, that you had emotional loss, that you have been in an emotional place, that you have been maybe looped in your own mind, and maybe you're in prayer, and maybe you're in solitude, and maybe perhaps you are just simply trying to get centered yourself. But that regardless, the choices that you make are really of high quality, high vibration. And that is why I feel like there is a measure of jealousy and fascination, okay, mixed in with the way that you handle things. You keep it pushing forward, even if you have pauses to mourn and pauses to really reflect and pauses to really gather your heart back to you and gather your energy back to you and sever cords that don't really benefit you or anyone. I feel like you continue keeping it pushing forward. You continue shining. Again, I'm getting this dark world where very little is different, and different is eye-catching, and eye-catching you are pile number one. So what else do we have here? Yeah, the Eight of Wands, that things happen very quickly for you. It's like she's picking up speed. She's about to like run. She's running. She could be pumping them arms. I don't know about running. I don't know about the running life. That part I made up, right? But look at her. She seemed pretty well defined. And I feel like you are no worse for the wear for your challenges. I feel like you will face them dead on. You're not somebody that to shy away from a challenge. And I think that is another thing that, you know, this hater is your number one fan because you don't look away from things. You listen to your intuition, you listen to your gut, and then you follow with a course of action. And you might not even know 1000% how it's going to go, but you know that you're going to do it regardless. And so I feel like this number one fan actually really does admire you. They could, again, hold you in like, wow, you know, pile number one, they really, I don't understand how they can jump into the darkness like that, not know where they're going to fall, not know if it's going to go well for them, but they still do the thing. And here you are doing the thing. Yeah, and they kind of thrive on that energy. I feel like they want to be like you, okay? Very much they want to emulate. It's a little bit like that girl, Vivian, who got unalived on, I think it was IG, Instagram. That she was on live, and her, quote, bestie kept her there in order to have somebody come and basically, kill her. So I don't know. That went dark really fast. But I feel like the admiration is really high, but there is a danger of, like, I want to absorb you. I want to become like you. I want to have that bravery that I'm hearing big balls. I want to have that ability to face my fears, face the unknown, face a storm, and still come out like I'm a badass. Yeah, I definitely feel like you're a badass. So that is what I have. Let me know what you guys think about this. Until next time, namaste.
Okay.
Hi friends, my name is Griselle with Toughdolltarot, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 2, you chose this lovely image on the right hand side of the screen, and your downloads go as follows. Why is your hater your number 1 fan? And I heard, careful, you could get burned. Granted, I'm playing with a little bit of fire here. But I definitely feel like this person is highly intellectual. It could be very intelligent. Why are they your number 1 fan? You could be very intelligent as well. Something about being in a cocoon, it seems like this is a face and the person is folded within the crystal, right? This person can feel like they are marked for life. So it could have anything to do with maybe something that they did, like a reputation that they built throughout time, right? Now I'm seeing it's almost like a child folded over in little baby wings. And maybe somebody crying right here, like a little child crying. So maybe they had like a difficult childhood and they feel like they are marked for life some way, some shape or form. But I'm showing that everything is inverted, right? Again, my shirt here, nope, it's shining through, reversed because of the mirror-like quality of the camera. You have a way of digging in and seeing the light. Now I'm seeing this whole big thing is a mask, an eyeball, a big nose, like a big hungry mouth, almost like that. Teeth as sharp as my nails, pile number 2. I heard tough as nails. They could be tough as nails. You could be tough as nails. I feel like there are like mirroring qualities that you might have that you handle differently and that they are observing. I see an eye. And I feel like this person struggles a lot with their dark side, their darkness and their light side. And keep in mind, we all have a choice, right? We can choose compassion over complacency. We can choose to act. Yeah, and there is an eyeball. So this person can have really pretty eyes. You could have hooded eyes. They could have hooded eyes. Something about the eyeballs. And it looks like to me daisies almost. So this person can feel like you come out smelling like a flower every time. Oh, and they feel like you're a fox. Okay, many different ways, right? Foxes are really clever creatures, but back in the day, they used, I think even before my day, back in the day before my day, what? Yeah, don't judge me. People used to be like, oh, that's a fox, or she's a fox, or whatever. He's a fox, a silver fox, right? And so I feel like they could feel like you are a fox, meaning that you're definitely hot, you're good looking, or you could have like silver hair and still like look really, really young for your age. Maybe you rock the gray hair. I don't know, your life, right? But something about like a masked bandit or very clever, being a fox. So you could be somebody that knows how to get into stuff and out of stuff quickly and easily. And there is like a half moon, like a crescent moon right here. I don't know if you see that, like really shining right in front of the mask. So I feel like you're very intuitive, and this is part of the reason why your hater is your number one fan. Now, also you have resting bitch face. So if you know, you know. RBF face. I definitely saw at a slant that this fox was giving me the eye, you know, like, what do you want, biatch? So you could talk like that, you can think like that, or your face can simply be like, yeah, you know, like if you're deep in thought or involved in something, you're not afraid to confront. I feel like whatever this said, this is a combination of like a cat and almost like an ape or a gorilla or something like that. So I feel like this person kind of morphs between trying to be overly oppressive or getting things their way, or brutish, right? Because when I think of gorillas, and I know that a lot of them can be maternal and they, you know, carry their young and they're protective, but the aspect that I'm pulling through, that's coming through, is very boorish, very much like, you know, look at me, or, you want to have a problem, I guess we're going to have a problem, that kind of a thing. Confrontational, yeah. And I feel like a lot of that is just words. I feel like maybe perhaps you've exposed them in some way, shape, or form, because their eyes, here I have eyes and they're misshapen. They can have like two eyes, maybe one that's higher than the other. And nobody's really symmetrical, not many people anyways, and they could have a mouth that's like, oh my gosh, you caught me, kind of a thing. They could like to wear space buns, or maybe you like to wear space buns. I love them personally. But I feel like your hater is your number one fan. Yeah. And again, it goes back to, I almost see this as like a shaman again. This is a lodolite stone that I'm channeling through, or scrying, whatever you want to call it. And I feel like you have a lot of ancestors like supporting you. You don't have to really worry so much about your safety or protecting yourself from the evil line, things like that, because I definitely feel like you're divinely protected. And this person is a little bit like shocked. They are shook as to why. They don't really understand. Coming clear, please. So why is your hater your number one fan? Let's see if we can get in there a little bit more. I'm all tapping the crystal does not make it clear, crystal. What? Okay, so here is a person. Oh, wow. So I see a pyramid right here. I see wings, almost like protective. It's almost like this is talking about love. This is you. I feel like graceful, very poised. You could be very poised. You could like to wear long flowing things, or you could walk and flow. There's like a certain flow about you, right? And this is almost like a lion kissing the girl or the person, and then there's a dragon right here. And it's almost like no matter what happens around you, you could be surrounded by a lot of creatures. Here's another creature with big old horns and the mouth open. But you're divinely protected, I feel. And I feel like also people love you. Like there's a lot of love right there. This feels like a bumblebee all of a sudden. And so this could have to do with like work, or the work that you do, and people loving the work that you do. This person is your number one hater, because whatever it is that you do, it's like people just love it. It's like you can't do any wrong. And I'm seeing like an angry face right here. Yeah, it's almost like an old crone. And I don't even necessarily mean age. I'm seeing a dog right here. Hi, doggy, with the dog nose and a mouth right here in the eye. So you have a lot of people that are loyal to you, a lot of different critters and creatures around you. You could be a sensitive. I feel like you could feel, oh, and you're a warrior too. Look, leg, and definitely grounded. Like even if that person were to take a bullet or a fist to the face, look at that. Is that the lats right here in the arm extended, and the head? I don't know if you can see that. And holding up like a sword or a wand or something like that. It's like no matter what, you're a warrior as well. So people love you, but you could be a very good fighter. Maybe you are in the fighting arts, martial arts. Maybe you like to spar, things like that. Somebody here does LARPing. Something to do with your home that's very nebulous, very protective. You're very protected. I'm going to say you're very protected, and not a lot of people are going to talk smack about you, especially to your face. But I feel like even behind closed doors, it's like I feel like if people are trying to look into you, you're going to know. you're going to know it and you're going to expose it and you're going to deal with it. So I feel like something about you is very, very intimidating. Pile number 2, if this is you, if this sounds like you, if it sounds chaotically delightful, then stick around for the shuffle and your subsequent reading in 3, 2, 1.
Oh.
Welcome, welcome. Pile number 2. Why is your hater your number 1 fan? If you're new here, I hope that you find something that is helpful or encouraging. And for those of you guys that are indeed my repeat offenders, thank you so very much for being here. So let's see what you have. You have balance. Look at that orb behind you. I feel like you have all the tools. It's almost very magician-esque. Magician vibes anyways. I can't get the glare to get out of here. Yeah, I can't get the glow to go away. Interesting. So maybe you glow. Something about your glow receives a lot of glares, right, from other people. Like if you are glowing, people are like, what the hell? Why is it only that they're shining? How come I'm not shining too? The number 11 can have something to do with you. And maybe the number 11 is a master number. Maybe you are a master at balancing things out, at retaining and regaining your composure, that you recover quickly. Maybe perhaps it seems like you elevate. It's almost like you're coming out from the light, and there's so much light in you that the number 110 right now on camera can mean something to someone. It seems to me like you come out like on top to really look and survey the land and form really balanced judgments, that you don't like to stay within like ground level or the mix of things. I feel like you have a bird's eye view, and this is part of why your hater is your number 1 fan. Oh, in your heart chakra. Oh, yay, I love this one. So the number 4, heart chakra. And this definitely talks about how you love people, how you love self, maybe even how you love spirit. Something about your shine, because I cannot remove the shine. We're just kind of twisting and turning things. See if we can get it better camera ready here. But anyways, yeah, I definitely feel like you are somebody who pivots. You learn how to pivot in such a way that it doesn't throw you off balance, or you have the upper hand, or you have a higher understanding of what is going on in order to really, excuse me, form correct opinions, or in order to proceed. And I feel like this kind of throws people off. 11-4 can mean something to you as well. Maybe it's an angel number for you. Pile number 2, why is your hater your number 1 fan? Because you retain your balance through love, through your heart chakra, through finding out, you know what, is this loving? Is this coming from a place of fear or a place of love? Is this coming from a place of like logic? Also, sacred geometry could be something that has something to do with you as well. Maybe you utilize that in your practice in order to like balance things out, in order to bring more love, more abundance, whatever it is towards you. Okay, so let's see what else we have right here. Why is your hater your number 1 fan? I heard fan, I heard fam, so this could be family for sure. 4 of Wands with the 4. Yeah, it's like you have this ability to establish yourself to yourself, bring yourself back, and look at the glitter. I'm just kidding. Look at the geometrical shapes behind the head right here. That's pretty telling. And how it's surrounded almost by the light, the flame of life almost. So the 4 of Wands is about setting up homes, setting up shop, building foundations. 4 of Wands is a not so subtle nod to the Emperor. And the Emperor is about, in the traditional tarot, it's like the father energy. It's a little bit of dogma. It's a little bit like, this is how I do things. This is how I balance out. With 4 corners, right? We have like the beginning, the middle, the end. That's 3, Grisel, but I think you get the point. It's like you have stages. You have I'm hearing you put people through the paces, and that could be something that has to do with you. It's like you don't let things go, you gain a higher perspective, and you still address things. And good, the sun is shifting, so here we go. Yeah, with the heart chakra being enlightened and highlighted here, it's like you are somebody who thinks from not only a place of love, like how can you love others, but how can I love self? How can I retain my balance? How can I remain complete in spite of what's going on around me? And that you operate and utilize different tools to be able to bring this about. The number 444, literally on camera right now. I'm like, I wish I could show you that. That was really cool. So definitely you could be seeing a lot of fours, and they could have a lot of special meaning to you. Also, I think of her earrings as like beautiful, elaborate, like chopsticks, the kind that you would probably only bring out for special company, or the kind that you would only keep framed and, I don't know, displayed somewhere beautiful. You don't want to damage them. I don't know. I feel like exotic, something exotic about you, and something very authentic. It's almost like you could add very subtle pieces to the way that you dress. Something about the way that you dress, your fashion, is the reason why your hater is your number one fan. Is like you bring out something unique every time. Even if you have to have a uniform, you could have gauges, you could have earrings, or you could have, I don't know, barrettes, or something about your hair, something that's quite elaborate, that's a nod to maybe the past, even ancestral or cultural, actually, I feel, more than ancestral. So why is your hater your number one fan? Is that maybe you're really embracing your culture and you're not afraid to do so. And I feel like this person there's a measure of jealousy, right? Because no matter what, you're going to dress it up, and you're going to catch the eye of many. And I don't feel like you do it for that reason. I think that she's very like authentic. I don't want to say plain, but she's not overly done. Like I like extreme makeup just because I'm like, what the hell is that? Let's do it. Even though I haven't played with like a lot of extreme makeup for a long time. But you could be somebody like that in a world where everything is so extreme, you could embrace a lot of subtleties and then have one thing that pops. And it really speaks loud in a world where everything is loud. Something about like autism, something about ADD is what I'm hearing. So interesting. You could be that, or they could be that. Somebody listens to music on repeat. Guilty. Yeah, somebody can be obsessed or like with textures and things like that. And that could be like a self-soothing way to do things. And that could be you for sure. So pile number 2, if you are liking these kind of readings, if they are chaotic and you never know what to expect, just kidding, then go ahead and like, share, comment, subscribe if you haven't already done so. If you have, thank you so very much for your support. Now, don't forget to click your little notification bell where you get notified that I drop further readings. Pile number 2, why is your hater your number one fan? Because you have a lot of heat. You bring the heat. You tolerate the heat. You are the heat. You bring the fire. And look at this. To me, this always looks like a microphone. Throat chakra being highlighted, and with her all, yay, and all sunflowers. I love sunflowers. In fact, I got sunflowers for my birthday, and I went ahead and put them on my little Coco's his final resting place. So they're so beautiful. But anyways, Page of Wands right here. Yeah, you could be a sun sign, or simply your fiery nature can come out. And this is very appealing, not only to your hater, but to a lot of people. The fact that you have a lot of fiery elements in your nature within you, but you have an ability to rise above and look beyond it, look above it as well, and return that fire to a place of love. Now, I'm working on that. Let me tell you, I'm all fire, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, why am I so tired? I wear myself out. So why is your hater your number one fan? Because you could have crazy nails that make no sense like this with glitter. Just kidding. Okay, here we go. Oh, wow. The 3 of Coins. Now, I'm going to say during the pre-shuffle, the other 3 came out, and it was the 3 of Swords. So I'm going to say Three of Coins is like you have this ability to really tune in, to understand about collaborative energy, to understand about cord cutting, to know when it is time to cut the cords with people that want to collaborate or siphon your energy. But I feel like you come from a long line of family. It could be witches, warlocks, I don't know your life. But basically, I feel like something about your family lineage, right? And you have this ability to know when to cut the cords, whether this is like maternal cords, paternal cords, I don't know, but attachment style could be something that you really identify quickly, or maybe not so quickly, because these three are like definitely tied, but she is cutting the cord right here. So I feel like you're not afraid to cut the cord with other people. And I feel like your haters, your number one fan, because you're not afraid to cut things off, cut them off, cut other people off, whatever it is that isn't really serving you. If people are acting against you and they want to retain a title, for example, but I'm your sister and you can't, you know, we've always been sisters and you can't do that. They're still your sister. I had a family member try to convince me. It's like, well, you know, well, that's who they are. They're, well, sorry, this is who I am. And I'm snip snip because that just doesn't work for me. If they don't want to respect me, if they don't want to, you know, be a part of like how I see things as well, then I'm just not going to simply do it. And I feel like you're like that for whatever reason. If it doesn't come from a heart place, if people are trying to siphon your energy, if people are trying to steal your ideas, I feel like you'll cut it off quickly. If people are using you, that's another one. I'm hearing for monetary benefits. So using you for stability, that they feel stable around you, they feel comfortable. So I feel like more than anything, your haters, your number one fan, because you make people feel secure. You know how to build solid foundations, and you retain a fiery nature. Like, yeah, let's do it. Yeah. You know, and that excitement where their life is like really boring or monotonous, or they don't really know how to balance things out. And it's not to say that you have things perfect, right? I feel like we're all working on things. But from outside perspective, this could be very attractive if somebody is codependent. I just feel definitely codependency vibes right here. It's like the Three of Coins. We're all three cogs. We work together. Well, it's like, where's the work and everything? If I'm doing all the work and getting all the cogs moving, then what's going on here? Right? So I think that you're just not doing that anymore. You're looking for real cogs that are going to work together, things that are going to function on the same realm, same vibrational energy, wavelength, that you are. And if it doesn't kind of resonate with you, you are kind of willing to cut the cord. Now, I'm getting also something about like the workplace, that you are definitely all heart. And I feel like you have kind of been privy, or you've come to understanding about things that are not quite what they should be. Maybe at the workplace, maybe philosophically, maybe in practice, like the way they practice. Maybe they're not solid in like, well, this is our mission, it's to serve the community, and then all of a sudden you turn around, they're lining their own pockets. Like let me say Goodwill. I said it, okay? What? You gonna ban me? But let's say Goodwill, where everybody donates, everything is given to them for free, right? They don't pay a dime for that. But their CEOs, they look up how much I make. It's ridiculous. And a lot of these places are not gifting. They're not doing vouchers for people. A lot of people are coming in with, you know, without resources, and they can't afford, you know, even the prices of Goodwill, because Goodwill's gotten like way beyond, like too big for their britches, and it gets ridiculous. So I feel like you could notice things that are like unjust. Well, you stand for the community, you stand for the homeless, you stand for all these really great ideals, and yet somewhere along the line you lost your way. I remember another story where in one of the Goodwills, somebody had, and there's corruption everywhere. Yes, I get that. I'm not an idealist. Yeah, I am. But that's not the point here. But I feel like in one of the Goodwills, it's just Goodwill. This person or these people had taken a fancy to all of the dolls, and they had taken all the dolls that are worth a lot of money and kept it for themselves and utilized it for their own monetary benefits. And that was obviously not the purpose of this whole thing. And that whole thing, yeah, threw the balance off and became public knowledge and became a massive scandal. So I feel like this isn't necessarily scandalizing things. You're not saying like, hey, this is so wrong that let's create a scandal here. Let's out people. You could be the squeaky wheel that exposes things, exposes motives, or really show. Yeah, that would make sense. That shows that, you know what, in this establishment, in this place that is supposed to be stable, there should be cogs working together. But there's one that's leaning against, look, there's one cog that seems to be like, well, I'm older and I'm just chilling. I don't have to do a lot and I could just lean on these other cogs. And she seems to be almost like an umbrella, almost like with a white flowers. They could be older. They could be self-indulgent, right? And I don't think that you necessarily notice that immediately. She looks very youthful though. This other person is like, okay, what do I do? I'm just going to go by feel. I feel like this is the right thing to do. I feel like, yeah, we're in this connection. We are working together. 3 cogs working together. But here's your perspective. It's like she has her eyes closed. I feel like she knows well what's going on. And this person, that would be you, I feel, knows what's going on as well. And yet she has a coin by her throat. She's like, you know what? I feel like whatever this is has to do with money, has to do with using people. Like one person's oblivious, one person knows, yeah, well, that's what I pay you for, or yeah, that's what you are, like I'm your supervisor, or yeah, that's how it works, I am your mother, your parent, your ancestor, whatever, and you have to carry these burdens because I carry them in my time, and now it's my time to enjoy relaxing and leaning upon everybody else. Only I don't feel like it's leaning upon. I think it's like, you know, what's on top of their mind is, you know, money. Right here, let me beautify myself and fix my world picture perfect. And you're saying, you know what, unless you're pulling a certain kind of a weight here or doing something, I'm cutting that cord. So something about you having this ability to cut ties with people, places, things. You have an ability to cut nouns. People, places, and things, yeah, that just are not serving you, that you identify as not coming from a true heart-centeredness. So I hope that that rant really made sense to you. Let me know what you guys think. Until next time, namaste.
Okay.
Hi friends, my name is Griselle with Toughdolltarot, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 3 chose this lovely image on the right hand side of the screen, and your downloads go as follows. So why is your hater your number 1 fan? I've been talking for like an hour. At least it feels that way. So why is your hater your number 1 fan? We're going to get out. Okay, this seems like a flag. And with that flag, because it's dark, it felt like an ending. So it felt like the death card where they have like that flag. Yeah, something about a flag, something about an ending. So why is your hater number 1 fan? This could also have to do with endings. Interesting. I feel like you're very protective, very nurturing. This looks like an hourglass. And this also looks like, to me, it has a little bit... Did I get a hair in my mouth? Ew. Sure did. Of the 2 of Cups, like holding hands. Almost like holding hands. Like you have this ability to bring people into the 2 of Cups energy. And people, this hater wants to be in your 2 of Cups. It's like if you look at the back, this person is watching. And these 2 people are holding hands. And there's a raven right here. So, okay. First of all, I'm going to say that people see your connection with other people. And they really feel like they want to have that connection with other people. They want people to esteem them. You could be like everybody's best friend. You could be like, oh, they're my bestie. You know, we do everything together, that kind of a thing. And this looks like a big treasure trove all of a sudden to me. It's like buried treasure, very mysterious, right? What? Look at all the windows there. Reflection. Cool. So it could be that this person, definitely your hater is your number 1 fan because you have a lot of treasure. They feel like you have a lot of things. You have a lot of ability also to go to war if you need to. You will protect that treasure. This could indeed have to do with an inheritance, by the way. Your hater is your number 1 fan because maybe you inherited, yeah, It could be money, it could be earthly things, but maybe you inherited gifts and they feel like they didn't get their fair share of those inherited gifts. Maybe it's a sibling. I'm feeling strong sibling rivalry going on here. I feel like they just take bits and pieces and try to morph it into something. And it's almost like a creature. I see eyes and then a keyboard for a mouth. Maybe that's how they're speaking, is via a keyboard. Maybe you're getting text or messages on IG or instant messages, whatever those things are. I'm like, don't instant message me. You're not going to get a reply. What else is this? This looks like a fish. This has to do with your abundance. A big old fish now. A big old fish. People looking at your abundance. This person is your hater because of your abundance. And yet they're your number one fan because of your abundance. I feel like that, what about me? How come I can't have that abundance? And it's almost like they feel like there's an injustice. This person, I feel like they could be a water sign. So I haven't really gotten too many signs vibrationally, but this feels almost like a crawfish coming out in the middle of nowhere trying to pinch. So this person could be a penny pincher, or they want to pinch something from you. I know in a lot of cultures, when they say they want to pinch it from you, they mean they want to steal it, you know, that sort of thing. I'm also feeling like a big bridge right over here. All of a sudden, this feels like a bridge. So there could be a bridge. They want to bridge the gap between you and them. But most of it has to do with your abundance. Yeah. And it could mean that you feel very wealthy to them. This looks like a runestone, the H with the slash coming down. Looks like a runestone. Maybe you read runes. Maybe you're clairvoyant, clairaudient. Yeah, this person, I feel like, is obsessed with your money, is what I'm hearing. And that you offer like a glimmer of hope right here, with the glimmer so far away, and they want that to come closer. Yeah, I feel like they hover over you. They could energetically hover over you. My stomach is like all of a sudden upset and like nauseous. So it could be that they hover over you physically, if they're around you, but I feel like this person will be far away. More than anything, it's more energetic. They're not saying a lot because I have a nose and a mouth that's partially open, but they're not speaking a lot. Maybe you blocked them, they blocked you. Maybe they just can't get to you. Now, all of a sudden, this looks like a mushroom, right? Mushroom. So this person could do shrooms, or you could do shrooms, or something about like a fantasy life, a fate life. And then now all of a sudden, this looks like somebody dusting. This could be somebody who is a dusty, literally. Dusty, crusty. They don't want to focus on their own life. They're focusing on you. Why would that be? Because you have a rich inner world. I feel like you see things differently. I'm hearing the word hematite. So it might be a good idea for you to have hematite, even like beads like this, to really ground you. But you can look up the benefits of hematite. Might be more messages there for you. And now I see a bird at rest almost. So it could be, don't they call them birds? Oh, wow. And now I see this gnarly person trying to creep, literally trying to crawl up a rock, try to crawl out of the grave. Something, a situation that you laid to rest. Okay, it could be trying to creep back up. And this could really, you're going to know it because it hits your stomach, right? I feel like, yeah, you could be like a physical medium where you feel physically what other people feel. Also, some of you guys do egg cleanses, because I'm seeing threads right here, and threads designed to ensnare. Now, somebody right here, not for everybody, I don't want to call it like this, but I do feel like they could be in the dark arts, like black magic and things like that. They could be trying to do things to bind you, to tie you, to block your successes, things like that. So I would recommend doing a couple of egg cleanses. And look at this. It's like this creature, this thing. I feel like they even try to come to you in your dreams, but you're protected by a solid wall. And so you're definitely protected, not even worried about that. But look at this. This looks like a globe within a globe. And now it morphed into like a person holding a globe. So you could have like the world by storm or catching the world by storm, or that's how they feel that you are. Something about that. And again, something about, I heard grinding. So maybe they are focusing on your grind and self-protection. And with the mushroom, like maybe perhaps they're focused on what it is that you are building, right? What it is that you're growing. So you could be growing your abundance. And I feel like you're very down to earth, and something about the prize. So I see a person here, like energetic people trying to grab this gift that is due only for you, because they have their own gifts. They're not focused on their own gifts. They're focused on yours. And I see a house right here, and then I see an owl right in front of it. I feel like you see this. And again, something about like quite cyborg about it. Interesting. I don't know, something mechanical. Like they're mechanical, they're transactional is what I'm feeling. Yeah. They're transactional, and that's why they don't have a lot of life within them. And they want to kind of steal other people's light and life force. And this can mean not that they're not living, but that energetically they don't have a lot to go on. They just don't have a lot for themselves. Yeah, something about golden light. So you could be somebody that attracts a lot of, what's barite? B-A-R-I-T-E. What is that? I don't know what that is. I see a little dog, a puppy. Person can have a dog. You can have a dog. I see somebody wielding a hammer, like working hard on the anvil, and another person trying to hammer that down. It's almost like whatever you're building, they're trying to tear down. As quickly as you build, they want to tear down, but you are divinely protected. And my stomach is like making flip-flops. This is confirmation for someone. Then I see a little ghost dog right here. It could be a little pet, a little animal that is crossed over, that intervenes as well. A little protector. Yeah, I don't think you have a lot to worry about, but let's get into it. So pile number 3, if this sounds like me, or if this sounds delightfully chaotic, then go ahead and join me for the shuffle and your subsequent reading in 3, 2, 1. Welcome, welcome. If you're new here, I hope that you find something that is helpful or encouraging. And for those of you guys that are indeed my repeat offenders, thank you so very much. I really appreciate your time, your diligence, and just being supportive, your comments, all the things. So why is your hater your number 1 fan? Pile number 3. You have the star. This came up and it popped out during the shuffle, so I just went ahead and took it. Yeah, definitely. And I'm hearing, is it Gloria Stefan? Can you feel a beat within my heart? I don't even know the rest of the lyrics. Okay. Anyway, something about dancing to the own beat, okay, of your heart. I definitely feel like you have a purpose and a focus that nobody else does. And nobody else can really see and understand. Now, Greece could be something that is for you. Maybe you're obsessed with it like I am. Or Greek art, or going to Greece, or you have vacation coming up. But something about the star and being in the public arena, and 8 of Wands. Oh my gosh, those 2 very cards came out in another reading. So you could have come from a different reading. But with the 8 of Wands right here, I feel like things come to you quickly. You act quickly. You maybe even act in the middle of the night, and all of a sudden, boom, you're doing this. And people are like, what? Now this light ray is looking like a dagger, like a knife. So you could act with precision, with a quickness. And that's why your hater is your number 1 fan, that you don't let the left hand know what the right hand is doing. And then you just kind of go ahead and do your thing, and it's a shock to everyone. Good for you. What? That you offer hope, that you have hope, that you are hope, that you in turn not only have hope, but that you extend hope to other people. And it's very attractive. So I feel like your hater is your number one fan because of the hope that you have. And I feel like you have this ability to rejuvenate people's spirits. And look, the number 17, I think the star in the tarot is the number 17 as well. So let's see what else we have. Yeah. What else do we have? 17 can mean something to you. Can I pick up the card is a question. High Priestess, what? Persephone. Yeah. So the High Priestess, so you definitely have this ability to go within. And again, I'm getting shaman vibes. So you guys could have been all three of the readings. My stomach is still like rolling, like feeling weird, not good. So I definitely feel like you get intuitive hits. Your body will tell you if something is off. And that's why you tend to work, I'm hearing undercover. You tend to do things a little bit in a cloak manner. Cloak and dagger, yeah. Interesting. I'm getting a lot of cloak and dagger energy. And then you get your flowers. It's like you have to operate in a world that is less than being on the up and up, in a world that's full of illusions, in a world that really wants to squash out hope, squash out individuality, squash out intuition, and mock it and make a big joke about it. But I feel like you're somebody who you don't have to show all of your cards in order to make moves, in order to really know that people could be shady, but you don't have to necessarily be shady in the same way. You could just be extremely private and things just simply work out for you. And I feel like this hater is a little bit like, what the hell? Me too. Like they want to applaud you for the moves that you make. The Seven of Swords. Wow. This one, yeah, came out in the pre-shuffle. Now, I'm gonna look at my nails like, oh, do you see the glitter flowing by accident? Like, I would never deliberately do that so you can see the glitter flowing down. Just kidding. But anyways, the Seven of Swords right here definitely has a lot to do with being stealthy, with being the lone wolf. This is the card that says, you know what, I don't need a lot of people behind my back or doing things or being in the know, right? Look at her face. I want to zoom in on that for sure. Look at her face. This person looks like red eye. This person can have red eyes. They cannot be getting a lot of sleep. This person could be drinking quite a bit. Snakes on their brain just can mean to me that this person, it's almost like they think that you mirror each other, but they're doing things for a nefarious reason. And they will say that you're doing things for nefarious reasons, but how can that be if you're lending light and hope to other people? If you are a star really helping other people to really find their own North Star and really create a better world. I feel like this person can be somebody who wants to be, I don't know, part of your team, part of your, part of the ones that know, she who knows. They want to be part of the High Priestess and they want to make their own moves against you. It's like, I feel like this person, if they could, they would steal your thunder. They'd be like, well, they got that from me. Well, I taught them that. Well, they want to discredit everything that you do. And yet they don't focus enough on their own life, and their own light is actually what I heard. Wow. Powerful. They want to focus on your light. And that's what makes all the difference in this narrative. Why is your hater your number one fan? Because you are indeed focused on your own light. You stay in your own lane. You're doing your own thing while they are riveted, mesmerized, and entranced by your light in your own journey, in your own moves. So, not good. Yeah, I don't like this energy at all. So why is your hater your number one fan? I feel like they would emulate this. I feel like they have scorn. I feel like they have spoken a lot of negativity about you and will continue doing so to anyone who will listen. I'm going to glitter get down because this is the money shot glitter. Come on. No? Okay. Yeah. Anyways, those nails kind of crack me up. I just can't. Okay. Anyways, distraction. So why is your hater number one fan? They could be distracted. They could have ADD, ADHD. I don't know. I definitely feel like I've got that. Here we go. Oh, if you're liking these kind of readings, do take a moment to like, share, comment, subscribe. I would ever be so grateful. Also, those of you guys that have done so, I am so grateful. Thank you so much. Just know that. Don't forget to click your little notification bell where you get notified that I drop further readings. Why is your hater your number one fan? Six of Coins. They will say that they've given you everything, that they've been generous with you. am I not pious enough? Am I not? This really feels like, what is her name? That actress, Mina, married to that guy that got canceled. That should have been canceled a long time ago. Anyways, I get myself in trouble. But Mila Kunis, is that her name? I don't know. Whatever. She was in that 70s show. But I feel like it's like, well, I'm the victim. I'm I'm the one that's generous. I'm the one that gave them those gifts. I'm the one that gave them this knife of precision to be able to cut things, and yet they cut me with it. And what they're not saying is that you're not cutting anything. You are simply focusing on your own hope, your own life, and they would not have been in the middle of said cut had they not been in the way. So that's what they're not stating. And I feel like, why is your hater your number one fan? Is because you bring everything to light. Whatever it is that they do, they say. I even hear like mockery. This person could have mocked you very publicly, or they try to heckle. They have different accounts, things like that, to try to come in the middle of the night. And I feel like they're in their head. I feel like, Medusa, we all know Medusa has a connection to like abuse, right? This person could have been abused. You could have been abused. You could share a story of abuse. Also, some of you guys, this person is from your family lineage, so you share like a history genetically, like it's been handed down generationally is what I meant. Of abuse. And this is a specific type of abuse. If this is you, then I am so sorry. I can definitely relate. I'm going to say that they are definitely caught up in their head, that they've not been able to get out of this I'm the victim mentality. And now I'm further victimized because you are making me the victim. But they fail to see and understand, comprehend what other people are starting to see around them, by the way, is that once you burn through the facade of, okay, poor is me, okay, yeah, I definitely feel that sympathy for you, whatever, I feel like they have worn out their welcome. They've worn out their, okay, blame shifting. They've worn out their, look how I'm the victim. Look how I continue giving. Look how I'm generous, and they don't reciprocate. Look how this is like a football player with, where they smear that oil or whatever under their eyes so that they don't get sunburnt or whatever. Look how, I've gone to bat for them, how I've played out in the field for them, and I've done things, and I've been a team player, and yet that's not reciprocal. And pile number 3, they're shady, they're undercover. Well, it's a mirroring effect, and I feel like they're really exposing themselves. So whenever they open up their mouths about you, supposedly at this point, it's really about them. That's really what this boils down to. In a nutshell, it's not mysterious at all. They don't like the moves that you're making quickly, while they themselves are tied within their head. Even though you have the same background, you could have been born in the same village, city, state, whatever, country, but you have overcome so much. And you, my friend, need to continue listening to the light, being about the light, and mind nothing else, okay? That is what I have. Much love to you. Until next time, namaste.